Hold
Will
on.
be on
It's not
screen.
gonna do this. All right. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me get my thing. I think that I'm gonna get this to work.
Okay, we are live. Thank you, Lord. We are live. Wait for our listeners to come on here. Yes.
Oh, that's
Welcome, welcome, welcome to NC Ministries Sister Circle Live. Thank you for joining us, and please like and share your page. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sister Circle Saturdays. We are so excited. Can't wait to hear Miss Angela share with us today. Like and share your page. I hope everyone is having a good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sister Circle Saturdays. Hi, ladies, y'all ready?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Woo!
morning.
This is the day the Lord has made.
Yes,
Woo!
Lord. Yes,
that.
Lord. And He's
Yes.
always making a way. Amen.
Yes. Right.
Welcome, welcome,
Woo!
welcome to Sister Circle Saturdays. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sister Circle Saturdays. I am Nina Crump, your host.
And I'm Lisa Striggles, your co-host. And Sister Circle Saturdays is a follow-up to our Women's Life Support Conference. And each session is facilitated by women who want to share what they've learned to help others. Today, we welcome Miss Angela Campbell, and Angela is an insurance agent. And Angela, welcome and thank you for your yes. We're so excited
Thank
to have
you.
you, and we want to know all that you want to share with us today. This
Yes.
is very important.
Very.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Well,
Thank you for having me today, this
You're
morning.
welcome.
All right, so we want to, I want to start by giving background. I'll start with the definition of life insurance. Life insurance is the contract between an insurance policyholder and an assurer, where the insurer promises to pay designated beneficiary a sum of money upon the death of the insured person, often the policyholder. Depending on the contract, the other events such as terminal illness, critical illness can also trigger payment. The policyholder typically pays a premium either regularly or as a lump sum. The benefits may include other expenses such as funeral expenses. Then I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the history of life insurance. Life insurance, the origins in ancient Greece and Rome. Throughout the concept, seems like features of contemporary society, life insurance can actually be traced around 600 to 100 BC in ancient Greece and Rome. These sophisticated early societies provided a form of both health and life insurance to some of their citizens. In ancient times, in particular, the idea was uh, was initiated by the Roman military general Gaius Marcius, who allegedly conceptualized some sort of burial club among his fellow soldiers, in which one of them should be. So, if somebody should be killed in the military campaign, the survivors would band together and pay for the funeral expenses. Then we're going to go to the Lords of London in 1688. Uh, life insurance saga continues in a small coffee house in London in the 17th century. Edward Lords established a popular place for congregating merchants and sailors, where topics of conversation typically included some reference to insurance deals. These conversations were the antecedents that quickly turned to a more formal insurance association, the Societies of Lords. That's what's known today as the Lords of London. Underwriters were typically rich members of society, assumed risks for notoriously dangerous marine and trading industries. Later in the 1774, the society folded their business into the Royal Exchange, thereby formalizing uh, a rather informal business. The same year, Great Britain established the Assurance Act in order to prevent corruption by insurance agents against their clients. Lloyd's of London now has a global reach and is probably one of the most well-known life insurance companies today. Then we'll fast forward again in time. Life insurance in the colonial America. Life insurance in America, in the American colonies, was largely controlled by the churches. In 1759, the Presbyterian Synod of Philadelphia established the Presbyterian Ministers Fund. That was the very first life insurance company in the New World. Members of the company paid a fixed annual sum, the dividends for which would be collected by the wives, the children of those who passed away. However, there were underlying tensions among the clergy regarding the very nature of the industry that essentially managed the risk, certain risk. Many of the priests argued that life insurance is a form of gambling, which was frowned upon. Then we'll fast forward to the 20th century. The industry lived on, and in 1911, an insurance company called AXA Equitable drafted the first group life insurance policy for the employees of the Pentecostal Leather Company. This idea was popular by 1930, and the life insurance industry in the United States alone boasted policies to around $117 billion. The insurance boom and establishment of a slew of companies resulted in a high increase of fraud and deception. The most common cases included charging exorbitant premiums to clients, not being able to actually pay out a claim. The industry at this time in history was largely unregulated, and some insurers clearly took advantage of having little to no oversight. The Social Security Act was enacted in 1935 for the first time ever. They offered retired and unemployed Americans a financial safety net. As a result, the life insurance industry lost some of the market share as the government became more involved. Later, in 1944, the Supreme Court ruled that the industry should be regulated at the federal level. This ruling was short-lived, and by 1945, Congress passed the McCarran-Ferguson Act, which declared the state should control the regulation of life insurance, amongst other things. The state oversight continues to be present today. Then I'm going to go and give us a little bit of other facts about the life insurance industry. One of the most influential African-American insurance companies was North America Mutual Life Insurance, now called North America Mutual. They were founded in 1898 by 7 local businessmen. Founders and administrators were the 7 men. One of them was a prominent doctor by the name of Aaron McDuffie Moore. Life insurance today, the industry now includes traditional insurers as well as those who operate online, and they provide a streamlined process. So that's the history, give you a little background. Then I'll go into the different kind of policies. Any questions?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We're gonna let you finish, and then
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yes, give us the information. Then we're gonna hit you with the questions.
Oh
Yes,
no.
NPR.
All right. All right. So there's several different types of life insurance policies that you can obtain. Some of the more popular ones would be term life insurance. Term is set for a number of years, and then the policy ends or you pass away before the policy is over. Your beneficiary receives a certain amount of money. Whole life is more permanent. It doesn't expire. Instead of a death benefit, you could get cash value in more of an investment vehicle. It can be used more of an investment vehicle. Universal has also cash value, and the premiums, cash value could all issued either the policy either accumulates cash value or death benefit, and that tends to be tied to a market or some index. Yeah, index. Variable universal life. The variable life is cash value deposited in several different accounts. Growth is more of an investment as well, tied to the market, the stock market, I should say. Then we have final expense is also permanent life insurance that tends to cover burial and funeral expenses. Group life. Group life is normally purchased within an employee through an employer, a group plan. Normally doesn't have a lot of the qualifications that you would typically see on an individual policy. Those are the different types of policies. Then we'll go into the 5 benefits of life insurance. Well, I'll give you a couple examples just to get the conversation going and give you some ideas of some of the benefits life insurance has. Income replacing your breadwinner's salary or income. It also can be used to pay off a mortgage, pay off debt, such as credit cards, loans, student loans. It also could fund kids' college, maybe care for older parents, or leave a legacy. Those are some of the most common uses for life insurance. I hope I gave you some good information and a base to understand in life insurance some of the benefits that it has to spark a conversation. I'm done.
Okay. Oh, all right now, Miss Angela. Woo.
That was good.
All right. Yeah, that was good.
Well, thank you.
That was really good. So now let's talk about how it really affects us and why it's important. And I'm going to tell you, life insurance. I'm really, really, really keen on life insurance. You and I know each other. You're my insurance agent for people who don't know. And she does all kinds of insurance, but we're talking about life insurance today, and it's so important because you just never know what might happen. And I get so disturbed when I see a GoFundMe for a funeral. It's like, we have got to do better, people. It's like, you can go out and spend money on tennis shoes and dinners and all this other stuff, but you don't make a plan for you, your family members. You know, it's like, tomorrow is not promised. This afternoon is not promised to no chick nor child. So it's like, please make a plan. And let's talk a little bit about that. It's like, because now I was fortunate enough, I have a whole life policy. So maybe you can talk about, because I didn't know with the term life, how does that work? Like I have a whole life policy and I got it when I was like 20. And thank God I got it, because now I have cancer and I can't get life insurance. So speak to that. It's like when I was working, I made sure I had enough life insurance if something happened to me to pay off my house. But when I stopped working, then that policy went away. So now it's like if something happens to me, my family will not be able to pay off the mortgage with the life insurance. So talk about those kinds of things.
The whole life policy, giving that permanent life insurance. You bought it early, so it doesn't cost as much. It's a lot less expensive. You don't have to renew it. And you did mention the fact that you had cancer, so that gives your insurable risk. You may not qualify for another policy. So you've prepared your family for yourself, for your family, in case something happens. Let's see.
So with the term, what's the difference between the terms? So if I had purchased term life, so talk about that now. So like now, if I didn't have cancer and I'm 54 years old,
so
when I get a term life policy, and the difference between the whole and the term.
So the term has a set period of time, and you could renew the term, or depending on the type of policy that you have, even though you have a pre-existing condition, you still could possibly convert that term policy maybe into another term or a whole life policy, just depending on your needs at that particular time.
I know the term life, we had that when we were young. My husband and I, we got the term life. And so, but when you want to renew it, it is like so expensive, 3 times as much as when you first purchased it. And so now we have whole life. Now you were talking about mortgage, paying off your mortgage with life insurance. Is that just with the whole life insurance?
You could use that with any kind of policy. Well, I won't say any, but most. It just depends on the amount, type of policy, and what you and your agent discuss. To help you plan for your future.
Because a lot of people don't know the different types of insurance. I'm so glad that you're explaining this, because people just getting life insurance and they really don't know what they have. And so, again, like Lisa said, with her conditions and stuff, like, sir, my husband, he has high blood pressure. So he, is not qualified for some of the policies. But I have 2 questions here. So I'm going to go right into that. One from Camilla Mitchell. She said, good morning. I actually have 2 whole life insurance policies since my 20s. I had a third insurance, but it was term. And when I turned 35, I got rid of it because it was costing too much. Was that wise of me to get rid of it? Also, what's a good amount to insure yourself? I am single and no children.
Oh, that's a lot of questions. Okay.
Well, break it down
up a little bit.
Okay. So first things, you want to you know how you have a checkup with your doctor or your professional in your life. You want to have maybe an annual or a frequent visit with your life insurance professional, because your needs change.
That's true.
Your needs change. So for me to just say off the cuff, hey, would you cancel that policy? Would that have been the best advice at that particular? I can't answer that question. I would say if you don't have a professional, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you directly, one-on-one. But yeah, that's kind of a loaded question without knowing.
So, and Millie, you can look in the screen. Her information is on there. You can go to her website. We have a question from Wanda Briscoe. She
Mhm.
says, I have infant grandchildren. Can I get something on them? My adult sons have life insurance on their jobs. Can I get a policy on them also?
You sure can.
Okay.
Yes, you sure can.
Does her son have to sign off on it? Can you get a policy on someone without their approval?
No,
Okay,
You got to
no.
get their
the
approval.
person
You have
has
to.
to approve. Okay.
Yes.
Wow, this is good. That when you're talking about the benefits, and like you said, it's so important to review your policies, because what happens when, say you expire, something happened and you don't realize what you have in your policy. Um, what should people do? Like when you present people with their policy, do you stress to them, please look over your policy? Do you point out different things they should know?
We go over the policy
Mm-hmm.
together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
And so, and that's something I didn't realize too. It's like I should be going over. Look, Angela, expect a call because I've had this policy since I was 20. It's like, so I just put it in a drawer.
yeah,
And yeah, so it's like, oh, I didn't realize I should have been checking in with the doctor and Angela.
Right.
But okay, that's good to know. It's like, because you don't think about that. It's
Don't.
like, and again, like I said, please, this is so near and dear to my heart, because I know so many people who expire and they don't have the insurance, and it is such a burden on the family.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We have another question. Alfreda Smith. She said, can you get Gerber insurance for your grandkids?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
Yes.
And that's a good question, because it comes in the mail. You get these different types
Yeah.
of insurances, so you just want to make sure they're legit, they're safe. But hey, with Gerber's name on it, it should be fine.
If she wants to contact me, I can help her through that process.
All right, Alfreda,
Yeah.
you heard that.
Yes. Please contact Angela.
So keeping our policies safe. A lot of people like to put their policies in a safe. Should you have them laying around? They should be laid around in a safe, or should you have one or two copies out there? Far as I know, we have to share with the family members. How many people should we? I mean, when we having policies.
I would say you want to put the policy somewhere where they can be found. Whether it's a safe, a file box. Normally, you want a fireproof box in case there's a natural disaster, or let's see, you can put them in let's say, I've seen them in Ziploc bags. Some of the insurance companies will provide or deliver them in a plastic bag. But yeah, you want to have a plan and let your loved ones know where that policy, those documents are, and I would recommend maybe keeping everything in one location, all your important papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we have another question from Camilla Mitchell. Beneficiaries. I have elderly parents and one sibling. Who should you break down your policy to receive if you die? Good question.
That's a personal preference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you want to think about who you want to have what, and maybe spell it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
maybe in a will.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got another question, Yumika Thomas. If someone loses their policies, will the insurance company give them another copy? And they will, but you got to be
Yes,
well, you go ahead and answer that one.
yes, they will.
Yes. And I also want to caution about leaving. Well, if you put your policy in a safe, like I had a elderly client, and he used a safe for everything, and then no one knew the combination.
Mm,
Yes,
So it's like,
yes,
okay, then that's a problem. So
yeah.
with
yes.
all of your important documents, give them to whoever you trust, but give them a copy
Mhm.
of something. At least give them the information. If you trust the person to be your beneficiary, share this information with your beneficiary,
Yeah.
because if you pass away and no one knows and no one can find your important papers, that's just an added stress.
And that's good, Lisa, because I know with my mom, she had a meeting with all of us. And so I mean, she is so organized, but we have everything together and she told us where it is. So it's very
That's important.
important to
Mhm.
have those meetings with your family and communicate with them. And also if you have family members that do not have life insurance, it's really good to have that conversation with them and let them know the importance of having life insurance because
Mhm.
again, Lisa, I know you were talking about the Gold Fund, but we're already mourning, we're already
Right.
in distress, and
Yeah.
we shouldn't have to worry about trying to, that's another added stress. Here our loved ones are gone, and now
Mhm.
we're worrying about how to get the funds. So I think it's
To
very
bury them.
important to have that meeting with your family members, your children, your, whoever, just in general. I think that's very important.
So Angela, do they have insurance policies? Because look, I have older people and they're like, oh, nobody gonna be happy when I die. It's like, do they have policies what'll just pay for burial expenses? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so and those are more, are those more economical, or just something to be able to put the person away the way you want to.
Yes. Yes.
So let me ask you a question about the universal cash value. Um, is that the one is just for to cover funeral expenses? Because I see you had different policies list, you shared with us. And it only covers, oh, wait a minute, it's the final expense
Final expense.
policies.
Final expense. Yes.
And
Okay. Okay.
so
Yes.
that's a cheaper policy. So maybe if someone can't afford to get the other ones, at least get one that can cover the
Just
burial and the
right.
funeral.
Yes. You could do burial, funeral, and
Oh,
it's a little more affordable,
Okay.
okay.
just depending age and some other variables. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Sandy, can you share your information with us? And
Angela.
I mean, Angela, what did I say? Angela, can you share your
You call her
information?
Sandy because you were
Oh,
questioning.
you know why? Because I'm looking at Sandy. And she had a question. I'm sorry, Sandy. Sandy Huggins Smith said, this is so important, but some people are so afraid to discuss death. How can we approach having this conversation? That's a good question, Sandy.
Ooh. Let's see. Well, you maybe ask some questions about, or maybe bring up how you have your affairs in order
Mhm.
and things like that, and just maybe say, oh, well, hey, I want to be buried at such and such cemetery, or I have
Mm,
life insurance for my kids, and just maybe start the comment. How about you? So what is it that you may have for
that's
for you and
good.
your
That's
family?
good.
Hmm.
Eh,
And
That's
now being able to explain to them the different insurances, it's like, oh, you know what?
yes.
I didn't realize that we could get a policy just for burial expenses. Did
Yes, I
you
did
know
not.
that? Let's talk about that. Do you? So I mean, this was very
Yeah.
helpful because I didn't really realize that. But yeah,
And to pay off your mortgage or help with the kids' school. I didn't know about
Yes.
that. Right. This is good information. One more question. Jackie Carter, how important is it to have a policy if you're in probate court?
For yourself or for someone else?
Jackie Carter, for yourself or for someone else?
Yeah, that was an issue with me. Again, I like doing these shows because it's like, oh Lord, I've been through so much. Oh,
she said both. Yes.
Both?
Jackie Carter said both. Yes.
It would depend, and I would say if she wants to contact me, we can chat about that one-on-one as well.
Okay, good. And so on that note, Angela, share your information with us, your company and the information so people can contact you. We have it on the screen, but we want you to share. Then Lisa's going to take it from there.
Okay. My name is Angela Campbell. My company is Arden Insurance Agency. I can be reached at 301-358-1764. And it's been a pleasure to be on Sister Circle.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
so much, Angela, for sharing with us today. As I said, Angela, she's talking today about life insurance, but she's helped me with medical insurance and business insurance and all kinds of other things. So she is a wonderful resource. So if you have questions, please contact her. She will definitely help you get whatever you need. And we want to thank you again for you all for tuning in to Sister Circle Saturdays. If you have missed sessions, you can tune into our channel for YouTube. And we want to thank everyone who has made donations, who has supported us through our popcorn fundraisers, and we'll be having other fundraisers so that we can have more workshops and be a blessing to others. And so if you haven't considered NCM, please consider us for your tax deductible donations. You can make a donation directly on our website.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me again.
You were amazing. And always at the end, always remember to give yourself a big hug. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for all the listeners who tuned in today and your questions. I tell you, help make this segment a blessing today. Again, thank you. And we'll see you next Saturday on Sister Circle Saturdays. Bye, ladies. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Angela, you hold on.
Okay.